Hi, I'm Simon Parker, co-founder of the Naked Record Club, the world's first eco-friendly record club. You're listening to the second episode of our Babybird interview, which discusses, amongst other things, Stephen's nomadic childhood and school days. This interview is also available in full-length form and as an audio podcast to download and listen to on the go. Okay, so we'll come back to King of Nothing in a bit. I'd like to move back in time, if that's okay, to your childhood and growing up, if that's okay. So, where were you born?
I was born in Wellington, which is next to Telford, which became, when I was growing up, I was only there till I was 4, but it became one of the biggest, I think before Milton Keynes, it became one of the biggest urban sprawls kind of estates. So horrendous, but we were in Wellington, which was the leafy part. So, yeah, I think with most people's lives, I don't remember any of these things. You obviously don't remember, but there's so much stuff I don't remember. So I think you're like 6 or 7 different people during your life.
Yeah,
it's not too profound, but so I kind of look at the old photos. My mum was a black and white photographer, and I used to. She took me into a dark room, and we did all the kind of putting it in all the solutions.
That's like magic when you first started seeing that.
Oh, amazing! So I'll never forget with the red light, and I'll never forget. Sounds weird, doesn't it? But it was just brilliant. So I think that's my memory is based on those photographs that she took. But I look at the boy, and it doesn't even look like me. So it's weird, isn't it, when you look at something when you were 4 or 5 or 3 or.
It is such a different person. I see pictures of myself, and once upon a time I had legs that looked like they were normal legs before they became weird matchsticks that just about support the upper part of my body. Like, at one point I was fairly normal, but you spent time in New Zealand?
I did, yes. We went to New Zealand. My mum and dad are teachers, and we went, if you had 50 quid, which was quite a lot of money then, I think, but if you had enough money, you could not pay, but you had a job, you could go to New Zealand. So we went to New Zealand on a Greek liner called the Himalaya. So we were on this boat for 36 days, going through the Suez Canal and past.
Do you remember bits of this, or have you researched?
No, again, not on the way there, but on the way back, I can remember.
How old were you?
I remember certain things. When I came back, I was 7, so I was 7, as I used to, because I had a New Zealand accent. So we went that way, and we went past Tahiti. We stopped in Tahiti and Sri Lanka, and when it was Ceylon. And you'd go to New York, and you'd go there over Christmas, and it was just you were there for like a cruise ship. It was you'd go over and watch it, and I just remember it being very snowy. And then I stayed in New Zealand which is really weird as well, because New Zealand was incredibly lush, and it really, really green, and you really remember that. But all the photos are black and white, so that's weird, effing my head up a bit.
Yeah, that's a strange memory.
So I stayed there for 4 years, or 4 sets of 4 years, and then came back the other way. So through was it the Panama Canal, and stopped off in Sydney. And
do you have brothers and sisters? Did you share this experience?
This is what's really weird, because my sister was 18 months. So my brother was 18 months younger than me. So I was 4, so he was 2 and whatever.
Pretty
and
young.
She was 18 months. And I think my dad's family particularly were quite horrified that we weren't going to. They could have gone to Canada, halfway around the world, but they decided to go to the edge of the world, which was seen as the edge of the world. You drop off the edge. Yeah. So that's the thing that's cropped up recently with my sister and my dad being a bit ill is. Quite a strange thing to do. Yeah. And I think it was, we went there for life. That was it. We were going there forever. But my dad didn't get a job. So it was like it was like a tiny little minute, what's the word? Minute thing. Minute? No, whatever.
Yeah, I get minute. You can read it and know what it means, but you try and say it.
It's not minute. So it was a thread basically that we came back, but the only thing is that I wouldn't have met my partner, I wouldn't have had my kids. It's quite a.
Is your partner from New Zealand?
No. But I wouldn't have come back, and I wouldn't have done Babybird. I probably would have stayed in New Zealand and I don't know, looked after dolphins or something, because it was that ideal. We used to run to school on the beach, in bare feet, and it was a lovely.
So when you came back, where did you end up after this idyllic?
Well, we went to, I think we went to Repton, which is a public school, which my dad got a job in a public school, which I actually went to, so I am a public school boy by instead of £2,000, 50 quid. If your dad teaches there, you could get
in.
So, which I didn't enjoy at all. But so Repton, and we moved around. The more senior he got in the school, we could move to houses. So it's very nomadic. My family is like on one street, I think we lived in 5 different houses. So it's always moving, always moving. And so I've always got that in my head. I mean, I've been in Hale, I was in London for 15 years, and I thought, my God, how could I have stayed in one place? So it's always eating away at me because of the way my parents brought me up. So so Repton, and then I went to. Shall I carry on the?
Yeah.
No, then I did Art Foundation at Derby, and then I did Creative Arts, which is a real Mickey Mouse course, which is long gone. So you would choose dance, art, music, or what's the other discipline? Theatre.
Right.
So I did that. So I did drama and arts at Creative Arts.
Great.
Which was very weird. Yeah.
At school, did you have any good teachers or any people? Anybody encourage you?
Because
you were writing. Did you not write stories from a young age, or you were doing something, weren't you, quite creative from a young age?
I was doing shit poetry, I remember, which I've thrown away, which is really annoying because I think it'd be nice to see how terrible it is. But I chucked it away. I used to do photo montage as well of and sticking stuff together and putting them in these books. But I remember my handwriting was really good, but the words were terrible. But I threw it away, which is mental. Yes. So
you did have good. Did you have any good teachers? I asked.
No, because
a lot of musicians.
I was thinking about this the other day. It's like a lot of people always talk about their favourite teacher, but I never had like a teacher that stuck out at all. I remember maybe a guy that did when I was doing art A level, but I don't remember him particularly. I remember the things he taught, which was like Joseph Boyce, the performance artist. He did things like this. Kind of really opened my eyes. It's like it wasn't just I don't even remember his name, but he would teach us not just art, still lifes and stuff.
Yeah.
Joseph Boyce was a guy that he became really famous. He would sign his cigarettes and sell them for thousands and thousands of pounds. But he did things like an installation. He was in like a glass room that he built with 2 wild wolves. So, and he just had a blanket, and he was in there for 2. Like David Blaine stuck himself in a box.
I've seen all that. Yeah.
It's a bit like that performance art and people sitting in baked beans, in baths full of baked beans. So he introduced me to all this stuff, which
You've done a baked bean sleeve.
I have, yeah. That was quite funny. That was that was actually used in the Virgin Flight magazine. On the Virgin planes, they put that because the corner shop. Yeah, no, it should have been for breakfast. I would have stuck everything, sausage and black pudding on. But no, it was it was me with beans on my head, making a joke. Corner shop. It's just a joke, which I don't think helps your career in any way. But that was kind of probably talking about performance art. But that's kind of what I did before Babybird.
Right.
Performance art theatres.
Yeah, you're the king of nothing. Sitting on your ass, looking at the sun. Yeah, you're